Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for Brayflox's Longstop. This is a level 32 dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. Brayflox is the prettiest dungeon you'll see so far, and it's also the first outdoorsy dungeon. Now you can get a tan while slaying dragons. Multitasking. My name is Ms. Tech, and I'll be your dungeon guide. Now, this dungeon offers the usual nooks and crannies full of treasure, but it does put up a refreshing twist on it. Instead of just handing you the loot, it makes you work for it. If you're familiar with the lore of the area, you'll know that the goblins have set up camp in the worst place imaginable, and are now being attacked not only by dragons, but all sorts of nasty jungle creatures. And your job is to save them. Your reward? More chests than you'll know what to do with. The first boss in Brayflox's Longstop is the Great Yellow Pelican. The worst thing he does is summon adds throughout the fight and apply a poison debuff on the tank. All of these things combined result in some pretty nasty damage going out on the tank, so use defensive cooldowns and external timers wisely. Tanks should avoid the frontal cone numbing breath at all costs. Once the pelican is down, Brayflox himself will come out of the woodwork and ask you to save his friends. From here on out, you'll need to keep an eye out for his goblin friends to save. There are a lot of timed encounters in this instance. As you approach an area, a denizen of Goblin Town will get attacked by a pack of mobs. As long as you kill the trash and keep the goblin alive, he'll give you a treasure chest that will drop a magic item. If you're trying to get as many of these chests as possible, remember not to move into an area until your group is ready. If you are not successful in destroying the creatures in time, your goblin friend will die, and no loot for you. The second boss is the Inferno Drake. He has a frontal cone that needs to be avoided or interrupted. At around 80%, Brayflox will run in getting chased by another ad. Be sure to grab hate off of him and keep him alive. At this point, Brayflox will join the fight. What the cheeky goblin doesn't realize is that he's not actually helping. But he is kinda cute, so I'll let it slide this time. Throughout the fight, Brayflox will inadvertently pull enmity from the tank by throwing bombs. When this happens, Brayflox will chicken out and run behind one of your group members with the boss in tow. The rest of the group should be moving out of the boss's frontal cone so they don't get hit with the breath. Now the boss actually fixates on Brayflox for a short time, so regaining enmity is scripted into the fight. Don't freak out if you're pressing all these buttons wondering why the boss isn't coming back to you. The fight goes on like this until you kill it. When you reach the large area before the third boss, you'll notice there are a few swamp pugils that patrol all over the room. Tanks keep an eye out on their position during each pull. You may accidentally end up in their way. A lot of the trash in this room can be skipped. As you can see, we worked our way around the outer corner. Again, this is a matter of personal preference and what you feel like doing at the time. You're not missing out on any chest going the way we did. All it does is save you some time. The third boss is Hellbender. Again, frontal cone. Don't get hit. Throughout the fight, Hellbender will trap a random party member in a bubble. The bubble applies a number of debuffs on that member, and they should be released as soon as possible. I usually mark up the targets that need to be switched to immediately, but damage dealers remember to keep an eye out for it yourselves as well. This may happen more than once in the encounter, so be ready. The last thing Hellbender does, well, he doesn't really do it, but sort of. He summons the dragon Attar, who will swoop in on the party to avenge Hellbender's death. Tanks be sure to pick him up as soon as possible and position him facing away from the party. When he gets to 50%, he will run back to his lair, leaving behind Hellbender's loot. Before you head into Attar's lair, there is another mini-boss to the side. He has a chance to drop magical jewelry, which alone is worth the detour. Finally, the last boss. What an entrance. The dragon Attar's main hits aren't too bad, but healers take note that he does apply a poison on the tank. Dispelling this as fast as possible will avoid excess damage. The tank should also make the effort to avoid the dragon's breath. Avoiding this as much as possible helps the healer keep up with the damage. A few minutes into the fight, Attar will begin to target a random party member and spit an acid pool where they were standing. These pools will leech health back to Attar, so obviously we need to not only keep ourselves out of it, but also Attar away from them. The acid puddles stay on the ground for a fair amount of time, so tanks will have to maneuver their way around the room, making sure the dragon doesn't start to heal. Originally, I assumed the puddles persisted through to the end of the fight, giving the boss a softened rage timer, but it does seem that they do disappear after some time. If your DPS is good enough, the boss should die before you get overwhelmed by the puddles. There you go. Brayflox's Longstop. You can chalk this one up on the Dragon Slayed list and carry on. Up next, we have the amazing Sunken Temple of Corn, so stay tuned for that bag of fun. Thanks for watching. Till next time.